It's a beautiful day. Right, Sandra's took her car in to have a wheel looked at, and she's also at church, so she's due back in the next hour or so. Sunday morning, blue sky. Let me tell you, the sun's out and it's not too cold. I'm going to whip this water butt into the house, and we're going to have a look at this crack and put some milliput on it. Yeah, we're going to take it inside because the forecast is actually, we've got snow on the forecast for the next few days. So inside the barrel, and probably all echoey, you probably can't see that where I've marked with there. So we just cleaned all of that off, and the outside as well. And that's the, as far as we can tell, that's the little crack where the water's been seeping out. So I'll wait for Sandra to come home. We'll do a quick recce, and all being well, we'll get the milliput on it. And there's 2 sticks in here. There you go. What we have to cut and mix together to make the compound. Mix equal parts. Blah blah. Rolling and kneading. 5 minutes until the coloured uniform. Rock hard. 3 to 4 hours. So yeah. And also, checking all my wiring and all the rest of it. I've got a 5-port Ethernet switch on our router and everything, and yesterday I noticed that our Freeview, for some reason, I've no idea where the cable's gone, it's no longer connected, and I haven't got any ports free, so I'm going to fit today also an 8-port switch, but that should be pretty painless and simple to do. I've just got to make sure I've got a spare LAN cable. I think I've got one somewhere. So while Sandra's out, I'm going to go and have a poke around and find a spare LAN cable. Sat in the Momo car. Sandra's back home from church. How was church?
My cinnamon and apple muffins went down very well again. So.
Marvellous. I've got my scarf in the back of here, so I need to show my scarf. Oh, yeah. What's the situation with the car? What were you told, and what's happened, and what we're going to have to do?
I went before church and left my car with the tyre place, and they were like, so the guy that was there was very pissed off because he shouldn't have been there, because the guy who was there yesterday should have been there but called in sick. And then the guy yesterday said I didn't need to book in, but then the guy today said, oh, they've got lots of bookings, but leave it anyway and they'll see what they can do. What was that?
It's kids playing Wally next door. It's all right. A bit distracted. So I'll keep him off. The little lad next door, Sam, he's a really nice lad. I'm not going to put him on video. He's playing Wally, and the balls just bounced off, and
just heard the thud against the
came over and hit our wheel. Anyway, yeah, it's good to see kids playing out.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So anyway, so we're going to try and rescue my car, long story short, and see what's going on. So
it's gone 1 o'clock and everywhere closes early today, so we're in a bit of a panic. Right, let's go. Right, Sandra's having a quick look at the car. The car's there where she left it, so whether anybody's looked at it, we're going to find out. Right, so as I said to Sandra, all being well, they can straighten that, and they have done. So the car's ready to pick up, and the guy said no charge, so Sandra's over now, giving him a £5 to go and get him go and get himself a drink. That's the least we could do, but he was absolutely adamant not to charge or anything. So yeah, all good news. And Sandra now needs to go order a spare set of wheel rims, not wheel rims, wheel trims. Where are you, Sandra? Right, are you happy with that?
It's a relief. It's got the MOT due in a couple of weeks as well, so it has to be right for them.
That's not part of the MOT. That won't be part of the MOT. So all you need to do now is just make sure he's balanced it, like it doesn't judder. But I said he'd be probably straightened out. What's your husband? No idea how lucky you are to have me, Sandra, have you?
I think the moral of the story is don't drive when you're overtired.
Indeed. Right, let's get home safely. See you home. Right, let's crack on again. So we're just going to mix up this milliput. So Sandra's got the rubber gloves on. I'm just going to do it over a bit of tin foil in case we drop it, and then I'll actually apply it with my bare hands. And over, and then we'll rewrap that, and so I'm going to put a cable tie on it to try and keep it airtight. Rusher in the distance, supervising.
So it'll be the same size blob. So Like that. Happy?
Right, so no one's kneading together now for 5 minutes until it becomes a uniform colour. It's a bit like Play-Doh, isn't it? Plasticine. Those of a certain age that used to play with plasticine, do you remember how exciting it was? You used to get out of a new packet in like, was it about 6 different colours? And you tried to keep all the colours separate, didn't you? And then eventually it all ended up going together, and then...
Grey.
Yeah, it ended up like this grey colour, and then you had that plasticine smell. And then when it sort of dried out and went cold, you couldn't do it anymore. You had to put it near a fire and everything. Do kids still play with plasticine? Is plasticine still a thing? It's probably been banned.
Play-Doh smells nicer.
Yeah, Play-Doh's for wimps, because Play-Doh's just soft and squelchy.
When Hannah was little, we made our own Play-Doh.
Yeah, too much salt in that, you can kill yourself. Everybody's made Play-Doh at some point in their lives.
Not everybody.
Have you made slime? That's the big craze now with kids, isn't it? Homemade slime.
It's very sticky. It's not going very... I just say 5 minutes, which is a long time.
It is. So yeah, we've been going about a minute and a half. So it's just after 1:45. It should be ready. Right. So that's all squishy. And so I've got a torch because I'm going to put some on the inside as well as the outside. And at this stage here now. Pushing it right in, and I am going to go inside. I could stand in here to send on Bill. You could be Ben. No, you could be Little Weed. Bill, and who remembers Bill and Ben, the Flower Pot Men? Those of a certain age will remember Watch with Mother in black and white. Who used to watch with Mother with the mother I did? Did you, Sandra?
Yeah, I think so.
You did, right. So apparently this takes about 4 hours to dry. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get inside the barrel and I'm going to put some of this inside. So, okay, let's go inside. You filming the back of my head. Wait, what are you doing? Sorry, I'll take the camera 1 second. Sorry, I'm in here at the minute, so this may not look like I've cleaned this out because there's obviously lots of grit and everything, but it's not. You know, I think it's made the back of my head. I'll come in a minute when I'm right. Okay, so that's you probably can't see, but that's we've applied some inside the barrel and the outside of the barrel. I think we'll leave that. Where have you gone? We'll leave that upside down in the kitchen overnight, and all be well, I'll collect it tomorrow. We're going to have snow tomorrow still.
Don't know. Wait and see.
We will. Sorry, do you remember the bird box Sandra was cleaning out here, Sandra? So this one, which I'll show you now, we've got a little, like a big eave under our conservatory, which is, I have to show you here. So that bird box is getting a bit of protection from the sun and the rain. It's also north facing, so this it doesn't get any sunlight here at all. This back bit of the garden gets no sunlight.
So what the blue tits were doing last year was they'd land in the apple tree there, and then they'd land on the wire in front of the house, and then make their way in to feed the babies.
Okay. So as I say, so the back. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so we're hoping they'll come back this year.
And so we've sort of, I wouldn't say we've rewilded our garden, but we've obviously got the trees and all the rest of it. So a lot of garden people now, they've just astroturfed the entire garden, and there's nothing for wildlife, is there? But we've got an abundance.
Well, I like it more wild than Neil, but you know, that's ongoing discussion.
I like the grass cut. I don't mind the trees and the borders and things, but obviously you've seen foxes. Got a couple of cats that come in. Definitely got mice that come in. We've got hedgehogs that dive in and out, and yeah. So all being well, we'll have the birdies back, the little tits back. It's not going to be long, is it? A few weeks away.
A few weeks. They were very early last year.
Yeah, a few weeks away. I'm just going to go and investigate somewhere. Rasher keeps coming down to the bottom of the garden and having a sniff down there in our compost heap. I'm just going to go and have a quick look down there while we've got shoes on. So we've got a massive big compost heap at the bottom of the garden. And the other day, the bit of soup that we had left over, do you remember that chicken soup I made? I poured it onto the compost heap, so obviously Rasher discovered there was chicken here. And she has been spending literally ages down at the bottom of the garden. And underneath here, I don't know if you can see that or not, but we've got something has been going underneath there. So I don't know whether that could be the fox or not. We'll yeah, we need to wait and see. Oh, in fact, look at this here. So that's my blink camera that I had here. So that's been knocked down. Right, so whatever has knocked that camera out, but we'll see whether that picks anything up in the garden. Right, so Rasher is now also foraging. What are you doing, Rash? And getting very giddy about something here, which is back under our decking area with that other hole. That's really strange. She's got. Sandra, do you remember the last? It's only 1 week ago. Then you can see here. Sandra pointed out one green leaf. Look at that. What's popped up there? That's in the last week.
Rhubarb.
Yeah, but that's literally just come up in the 1 week. Sandra says that rhubarb's early, so we have a rhubarb called Timpley rhubarb. And those that know will know my associations with a little village called Timpley. And we have Timpley early, and we have Timpley late. So my suspicion, Sandra, that could be Timpley early.
So that's Timpley and the other one's Victoria.
Victoria. Victoria. Marky Smith, Victoria. Right, so back up in the attic, those that have been watching since I come back, I've floorboarded and insulated all the loft. And what I'm going to do next, now where Sandra comes up, is all these old posters from many years ago. So I've got some here, 1976, 1977. Look at all these. I'm going to unpin them because a lot of them got drawing pins in. Try and roll them up just as a memory from my youth. Because if things go to possible plan, we're going to get this our roof retiled. So the felt and everything's going to come off and all these will get knackered. So I'm going to take these down. Right, Sandra? Nearly. Are you cold? You look like
So there's some of this
Doctor Who. Right, so over 50 years of memories, all removed. So, yeah, 1977, Queen's Silver Jubilee. We couldn't afford bunting for the Jubilee, so we got carrier bags. So these were carrier bags, and we cut the carrier bags, and we made our own bunting. And we used to go around asking people if they've got any old posters. Look at these here. And so they say the attic where we are now, this was a bit of a den, and then on the bedroom wall, anybody watching this that was a young lad will have put posters on the wall. We used to go around places and say, got any posters we can have? So Edmonton, Alberta, that's where my mum come from. Look at that. Skegness, that's quite haunting, that. And you say those that know will know the story behind that. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to gather up the paper posters and I'm going to put them inside this great big Lucas green poster, and all being well we're going to roll them up. So pre-National Express, before National Express became National Express, look at this here. Take your partner, quick go, National bus. Pre-National Express. Well, he looks a bit scary, doesn't he?
Looks like ballroom dancers to me.
They're ballroom dancers? Well, they've won the trophy, haven't they? Look.
I think that's why it says quick go. Do you not get it?
Quick step. Well.
They're all dressed up like ballroom dancers. They've got a trophy and it says quick go.
This is 50 years before Strictly Come Dancing. Who on earth watches Strictly Come Dancing? No. Hey, well, Moss playing coach station. There you go. I told you that was so we used to have a Shearing's bus depot, and it was like a coach station. So yeah, Blimey Charlie, shearings. I think shearings are still going. We lost a friend, didn't we, Jean, a few years ago. I think she was working for shearings in Wigan, wasn't she?
Yeah, and so was her daughter, but she got made redundant, so
Anyway,
I'm convinced they are still going.
not too sure. So are shearings still going in Wigan or elsewhere? Let us know. And did Lindsay Paul ever get a #1 song for Britain in the, was it Eurovision Song Contest? Rock Bottom, #1 song for Europe. I don't even remember that. Lindsay Paul ended up with a hit. So who remembers Lucas car parts? The old when engines were simple, all spark plugs and HT leads and coils. Distributors. Do you remember doing your points and putting your feeler gauge? So that green thing there, little feeler gauge to do your points and everything. Starter motors. Look at this here. How to maintain it every 10,000 kilometres. Look at this here.
My dad taught me how to change a distributor cap, but he didn't know that.
Well, they just pop off. So the thing with the distributor cap is they'll only go on one way, but always remember, if you change your HT leads, make sure you number them, because they don't always go 1, 2, 3, 4 when they go back onto the cylinders. You must always do it. Did he still have HT leads? Ignition leads and dizzy caps. What did I say like that? Right, let's grab this in the hand and look at all the dust that's coming off this lot here. Over 50 years worth of stuff. So my attic roof looks bare. So once it was adored with posters from my youth, from when I used to come up here as a den, and even had a dark room up here. These are contact sheets. You can see, I don't know if you can see that here. Yeah, all gone. Over 50 years. And so, as I say, fingers crossed, if things semi-go to plan, we are planning on getting the roof retiled, and obviously all this felt will all need to come off. So that's why we've removed it. Right, I'm going to head downstairs and have a think about what we're going to do for tea. Right, Joe, loft space. Might not see you for another year. I'll come back next year. So I've got a bit of boarding there. I've still got a teeny bit of boarding still to do up here, but do that next year. Oh, not next year. This year. This autumn coming up, 2023. Right, time to fit this little baby. 8 switch Ethernet box. And I found myself a little Ethernet cable. I knew I had a spare one of them. So I've got a 5 box in use at the moment. So I'm hoping that the power adapter fits, otherwise I'm going to have to scramble at the back of the TV and unplug, and this should, fingers crossed, be a little bit messy but simple, and all being well it will work. Right, yo. So the power cable here was a different one, so that's the current Sky router we've got coming in, so it's upside down, but that's going to be replaced in a couple of weeks. And this is going into our local network where we've got different things plugged in, and what I didn't have something from this FreeSat box is now connected, hardwired to the internet. All working. Right, so prepping up some food for tonight and tomorrow. So I'm doing a cottage pie for tea tonight, so need to brown off some mince. I've got everything ready to go into a casserole dish, lob into the oven, so I need to brown off some mince, an onion, some gravy onto there, browning off some beef here, and tomorrow, and put that all in, we're going to have a nice steak stew. So yeah, crack on and get everything all ready. What's it now? 4 o'clock. Tea, fingers crossed, will be ready about 5:30. Right, so that's the cottage pie. We're going to slam that in the oven now. So that's a slow cook stew for tomorrow, steak stew for tomorrow. So that's going to go in for a couple of hours. We're going to have some dumplings on top of that tomorrow as well. And I'm just going to now lob this in, the cottage pie into the oven for an hour. I'm going to grate up a bit of cheese. And then the last 20 or 30 minutes or so, bit of grated cheese on there. You may have noticed, I've stopped eating cheese, or reduced eating cheese. The last couple of gout flare-ups I've had seems to have always been after I've had a bit of a cheese indulgence thing. So I'm just trying to work out whether it's I've been eating too much cheese, and life without cheese isn't worth living, is it? Anyway, everything in moderation. Right, let's get this in the oven. Everything's in the oven, and doing a quick catch up. So do you remember me mentioning the other day that NCP, National Car Parks, had taken out a duplicate payment for a parking ticket that I paid in November? Well, anyway, and if you look here, I've got a refund. So that was quite quick and painless, but to be fair, that is really, really naughty that they've actually gone back and been taking money out of the account months later. So if you've got that NCP app on your phone, check your bank statements and check and double check that you've not been charged twice, because that is really naughty. And Sandra's completed my tax bill and all the rest of it for this year, and there we are. That's all going there. I'm not going to show you any more details on that. My self-assessment all completed for another year, so that's out of the way. Yeah, steady progress, and we've just had to authorise another business MasterCard we've got associated with one of my businesses to another online payment, so that's been done today as well. A few bits and bobs, we're knocking them down, aren't we? Rightio, that's all cooked. Get some cheese on there now, I think. Oh, oi. Hey, you're standing on what? You're standing on my toe. What are you standing on my toe for?
Because you said come a bit nearer, but I can't because your foot's in the way.
Oh, right, well I'm just out of the bath. I'm absolutely scorching hot. I look flushed. I've had a shave and hair's all done and everything.
You're having a hot flush, do you?
I don't know, it's just got the log burner on. Obviously, I think you've flipped the heating on as well. I've just been used to cooler climates.
How about letting some of the heat upstairs and it wasn't that hot up there?
Right, okay. Right, so we've had a very productive, calm Sunday. For me.
You've been quite restrained, Neil, to be true. Got my car sorted, so that was a relief, wasn't it?
Yeah, so somebody commented, that's not a scuff on your wheel. I turned around and said, it can probably be knocked out, that. And lo and behold, could have been a lot worse. So it was just a minor scuff. And yeah, the wheel trims, to be fair, didn't need replacing anyway. They were a bit better, but you've ordered another set.
If I'd ended up in contact in one of those trees, it would not have been a minor incident. I was very lucky it wasn't any worse.
Okay. And then Millie put set on the water barrel, so I'll get that into place tomorrow. What else has been going on today? Loft's got done.
Loft.
Yeah, that's all been done. 2 meals cooked for you.
Not that you'll count any of this, but I've also made sure Neil's paid up with HMRC on his tax for his business, made sure some of the accounting stuff's up to date, bills paid off, all the stuff that the magic fairies do, Neil. Yeah.
Hello, my little magic little fairy. And I think on the site migrations now, I'm down to the last couple are going to be a bit awkward to contact, and we're going to have to make an executive decision on how we go forward. But fingers crossed, try and crack on with that this week. And are you looking forward to our, can't tell you where, is it 24 hours or 48 hours trip at the weekend with your mother?
I will be when I get through this week. I've got a really important meeting on Friday, a lot to do by Friday.
Don't mention Friday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
Happy when that's
You'd be thinking
done.
of me.
It's a two situation.
Maybe. If I end up having to have an injection with that, I'm going to be absolutely well peeved. Lasted 3 weeks.
I don't think it was a lack of injection that made it fall out.
Well, it wasn't pork crackling. Pork crackling and that, had any. Right. So, fingers crossed this week we'll try and get a couple of videos up. It's a fairly slackish week now, and as far as all the jobs that I needed to get done here at home, they're all pretty well done. I need to contact a couple of builders about some work.
Any news on the missing shoes?
Oh, missing shoes, yeah, your shoes, I don't know. It's Sunday, so we'll probably hear something tomorrow. So Sandra's got a pair of these Fitville shoes allegedly coming, so she can have a look at them. Just genuinely have had them on all day today, and they have been okay, but I'm only a weekend into wearing them. I'm not tripped up or fallen over. I've been a bit of a bouncing misstep and everything, haven't I?
You've got your slippers on at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I'm bending my knees. I'm not. If I had those trainers on, well, they call them shoes, I'd be standing on my heels. They are really comfy.
Well, you haven't complained yet, so they can't be bad at all.
No. And we've had a good dog poo picking up bit of time earlier, didn't we?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So I've been in the garden.
So just hopefully this isn't too much detail, but I thought it was quite funny. So I just took Rasher out for a last proper walk up the lane and back, and then picked up, just by chance, a fairly large dog bag, and she did a little squat, and it was like the smallest poo you've ever seen going in this massive bag. What was that about? It wasn't really worth picking up.
Too much detail. Right, we'll wrap this up. It's getting on a bit. I think Sandra's getting an early-ish night. Sunday, go and get rested up. We had a bit of a heavy night last night, and a few sherbets and everything. But yeah, it's been a relatively calm weekend. We've had no car crash. Well, one near miss, one wheel scuff, but no major dramas, have we? So far.
Don't tempt fate though.
Right. Well, love and leave you guys as ever. If you're a new subscriber, thanks ever so much for subscribing to the channel. Those that like to give the videos a thumbs up, that's a thumbs up from us to you. And remember, if you want to get a notification when we do upload a video, what did he do, Sandra? Not said that for a while, have we?
Hit the notification bell if you can find it.
Yeah, so it should be down there. Or hit the up or down key if you're watching on the TV on your remote control, and you'll find that bell. Right, let's get going, and see you soon. Take care. Look after yourselves. Bye.
Bye.